I'm not going to go through anything particularly groundbreaking in this video. Like, we're not winning any gold medals for this one. We're not getting an Oscar. We're not getting an OBE for this video, right? Fairly standard stuff, but some of you are going to be in a situation right now where you know you have interviews or assessment centers coming up, and I'm guessing you want an offer from them, right? Otherwise, like, what would be the point, right? So, if you got an offer, let's say an interview or an assessment center in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that, step by step, what do you do between right now, the very end of this video? Hopefully, it'll just be a 10-minute video. What do you do between the end of this video and your assessment center or your interview to go and get the offer? Step by step, what to do. So, let me just give you a bit of background before I jump into that. So, I was just on my bed, just like lying down with my laptop, just sort of watching a bit of YouTube, right? Because got to give myself a bit of dopamine every now and then, okay? And I was like watching this. I ended up watching like this trailer for this film called Longlegs. It's where like some guys going around like murdering a whole bunch of people. Like, it looks like a sick film, I'll be honest. So in about 1 or 2 months, once I've done like I've helped as many people as I can this year get into the application process, I'm gonna go and watch this film. Anyway, I was watching this trailer and some other videos for like 30 minutes, and then I got into school. So school is the app. Is it an app? It's like a website. School is a website where I help people. Yeah, well, school, right? School is a website where that's where I tutor people. So I'm tutoring some people one-on-one to help them get into degree apprenticeships. And I got a message from one of my tutoring people. And it's a message, and it just starts at the first line of the message. Because when you click on it, you can see like a preview. It was like, oh, and I owe a lot to you or something. I'm like, okay, well, what's this about? It's a bit weird. I click on it, screenshot, Amazon Software Development Engineering degree apprenticeship offer, 2025. One of the guys I was tutoring, he's got into SDE. Another guy just last week, he got into cybersecurity for Amazon degree apprenticeship. So I'm really happy that I've been able to help sort of the people I've been tutoring one-on-one with their applications and all that sort of thing. And it just got me thinking, right? What did those two do that made them successful? And basically, they worked hard. Okay, and it's like, yeah, congratulations, everyone click off the video now because everyone was expecting me to do some little like click my fingers and all of a sudden you're going to get a degree apprenticeship. Like, there's one tactic you can do, like if you install this one like plug-in on your phone or something, it's going to, no, they worked hard, right? And to be more specific, okay, this is sort of the strategy I've gone with while I've been tutoring them over the past couple of months, which is, okay, you're going to learn how to do a thing. Okay, so like learn an interview question. Okay, that's step one. And then step two is just repetition. That's what I've been doing with them. Interview questions, just repetition. I've been doing coaching calls with them, group coaching calls with them, and it's just repetition, going through questions, okay? And I say in between the calls we do, list of questions, go through it yourself. 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 Until you're really good at interviews, you go to your assessment center, you do well in the interview, and you get an offer. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying with this video, there's nothing groundbreaking in this video. There's zero value I'm even providing here. Okay? All I'm doing is a reminder to anyone. This is purely a reminder. A reminder to anyone who has an interview or an assessment center coming up, step by step, what you need to do from today to get an offer, what you need to do from today, particularly to do with interviews, okay? But we'll get to other stuff, yeah, is literally list of common interview questions. Okay? Plan out how to answer them. And then just repetition. Congratulations, do all that. As long as you like have a decent application and you're not like, do you know what I mean? Like, well, there could be some other factors, like for example, you don't turn up to the assessment center, like, or you like there's just a candidate who has better experience than you. But from like a literal interview perspective, if you want to become perfect at interviews, just do that and you have perfect interviews. Because we can take this to the extreme. Let's say you did interviews for like 200,000 hours. You'd be very good at interviews, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you did it for 100,000, you'd also be very good. Yeah. So if you did it for 1,000, you'd also be very good. Yeah. So it's essentially just do as many hours of practice as you can. So what I used to do for geography, honestly, one of my like skills I'm genuinely like proudest of is my ability to memorize like geography case study stuff. So for example, we do like a case study on like Rio de Janeiro for like GCSE, and there'll be a whole bunch of facts, right? There's like economic challenges, like the population of the city, like oh, and they did this little thing with like the tram system, and they did this like cable car, and there's this poverty levels, and there's this like challenge, and there's this thing, and like literally I'd have like 30 pages, 30, 40 pages in my geography exercise book just of a whole bunch of statistics and stuff. I'd be able to memorize all 30 pages more or less word for word. Like I would literally like. This is why I enjoy geography so much, man. Because what I'd do is I would give my dad my geography exercise book. I'd give him the book. I just tell him, right, just open the book. I'm going to tell you everything that's inside it. You don't have to do anything. Just flick the pages, follow along with what I'm saying. If I do miss anything, let me know. And then I would literally just be word for word, just reciting all the different facts that I needed to there. And he'd just be flicking through, oh, you forgot this one. Oh, flicking through. And I was able to memorize like 20, 30, 40 pages of a geography exercise book at a time. Okay. Now, is that because I have some sort of crazy genetic intelligence thing? Maybe. You know what? Like maybe I just have some genes. I don't know, right? But I would say it was more because I just repeated it. So some of you might have heard this. When I was revising for geography, my strategy would be I'd read one page and I'd memorize the first page and then I'd say all the first page. Boom. Okay. Then I'd go and read the second page and then I'd say out loud the first and second page. Then I'd go and read the third page and I'd say out loud from memory the first, second, and third page. Then I'd read the fourth page until I memorize it. Then I'd say out loud the first, second, third, and fourth page. Then I'd read out loud the fifth page and I'd say the first, second, third, and you can see how this is going to stack up, right? Because by the time there's like 20, 30 pages and you're going back to the start every single time, you're like, wait, what? But it meant I had been through these pages so many times. So like I could see in my mind as I was reciting it all the different words, like this one's here, this like I'd literally be I'd be reciting what's in my geography book, and my dad would be like, wait, where's that? And I'd be like, oh yeah, it's on the top left, line 3, third from the bottom. And he's like, oh yeah, it actually is, because I could like photographically memorize where all of it was. Now, like I said, is that some like genetic thing? Potentially, right? But is it also I put a lot of work and time and practice into it? Yes, it is. It's the same with like languages. Like I really enjoyed doing languages when I was at school, and languages were, well, if you get rid of listening, because listening's a joke, right? But in terms of like vocabulary, languages are one of my best subjects. Because just repetition. Because I'd go through like the Quizlet, the flashcards, and I just do it over and 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 over again. It's repetition. Okay? And honestly, best case scenario is you guys watching this video, you're not even learning anything because like, yeah, this is obvious, right? But I want you guys to actually do this, like genuinely. Okay, you know, I've started doing this in videos recently, which is like I'm at a point now where I'm not going to tell anyone to do anything. Like you guys can do whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to tell anyone to do anything. All I'm going to say is, if I had an interview in like 7 days, this is step by step what I do, which is list of common interview questions. Okay, I'd plan answers to them. And then every single day, I would go through the list like 4 times. And then congratulations, you realize that the percentage chance of you getting an offer now has gone up by about 500%. So you know what? Let me just give you a list. So I have a list inside this community, basically. If you come to my community, it'll be like a link in the description. And you come to the welcome course down here. Basically, once you complete the welcome course, you'll basically get access to this list of interview questions. So if you do want like a copy of this, I'll put it on screen now, but if you do want a copy of this list, just come to my community and go and complete that welcome course right there. It'll be easily there for you to access. So here's a list of common questions which are good to prepare for. What you want to do is just plan out these answers, make sure you have some things to say. Why did you choose this field? You got some ideas. What are your strengths? You got some ideas. Okay. And then now, like 4 times a day, you go through this entire list. So you'll literally like turn on your laptop and you'll be like, okay, tell me about myself. So my name's Owen. I'm currently in year 13. I'm studying maths, physics, and chemistry. Recently, I did some work experience in the mechanical engineering industry with JLR. That's what really got me interested in automotive technology, and in particular, I'm really interested about electric vehicles. On top of that, in my spare time, I'm also grade 8 trumpet, and I'm actually working towards my diploma, which I've got next week. So yeah, really looking forward to doing today's interview with you. Boom. Okay, you've done your answer. You now move on to the next one. Why do you want this role? And you just do the full answer. Why do you want to work for this company? You do the full answer. Why did you choose this field? You do the full answer. Maybe you get to what is your biggest weakness, and you can't really remember. Oh, I can't remember what I need to say. Then you just go back to your notes. You go back to the bit where you planned it out, and you're like, oh, the one I wanted to say was that I get like too focused on the details, or I spend too much time connecting with people, or something. That's what I should have said, man. Okay, and then you go and do it. Okay, and you just go through this entire list, and like you're not going to be graded it first time. You're going to get to this one and be like, oh, I can't remember which one I used for difficult conversation. Oh, I can't remember what my specific action was, or what like the result was. Like, do you know what I mean? But literally just do this 4 times a day. That's what I would do anyway. And it's like use your own judgment, right? Because maybe you don't need 4 times a day, but also I would be careful of that, because it's like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I don't need this. I'll just like, yeah, I've got my questions. Like I've planned out the questions. I'll practice them once the day before. You get into the real thing and you regret it. Because the thing is, that's the worst thing. This is something that I've made a couple of videos on this over the past like 6 months, which is like, it was in the summer last year. I was getting a bunch of emails from people saying either they didn't get the grades they wanted, so from like an exam perspective, or they didn't get the offer they wanted because they didn't try hard enough. They thought it would be easy. They thought they could just jump into an assessment center and interview and get a job guaranteed. And then they had to like take gap years and stuff. And I've no idea what's happened to them this year. Hopefully, like honestly, guys, just email me anytime. Let me put my email here: apprenticeship@gmail.com. Email me anytime, especially if you've got news, whether it's positive or negative. Because if it's positive, I'd just love to share. Sorry, not share. I'm not just gonna like leak your email address to everyone. I meant like celebrate. That was the word I was looking for. I'd love to celebrate with you. And if it sort of is bad news and that, I'd love to see if I could help you with some advice or give some thoughts or anything like that. So yeah, feel free to just drop me any news about any of your offers, positive or negative, to apprenticeshipinsider@gmail.com. But it's better to overdo this, right? Because okay, maybe it seems extreme. I don't know. Like for me, from my perspective right now, that's not even extreme doing it 4 times a day. To me, that's bog standard, right? But it's like I'm quite an extreme person anyway, right? So maybe there's some people thinking like, oh, 4 times a day, that's ridiculous, right? But it's like, okay, maybe it is ridiculous, but like, which story would you rather tell? Like, guys, which situation do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the situation where, okay, so I had like 2 weeks before my assessment center, and there's this random guy on YouTube who like sits in his bedroom and stuff, and he told me to do it 4 times a day, and I was like, nah, that's too much. That was too much. So I just did it once a day, and I ended up not getting the offer. Or the story of, yeah, so this guy told me for the next 2 weeks I'd practice it 4 times a day. By the time I got to the interview, half the questions didn't even come up. The questions that did come up were super easy. I didn't have any problems at all. And they literally phoned me the same day saying I'd got an offer. So I'd basically just wasted 2 weeks because it was so much easier than I expected it to be. Which of those would you prefer? Like, you're never going to regret doing too much practice of an interview thing, right? You are going to regret not doing enough. Okay, and this is what I did. This is all I did. Because I didn't have a community or like people. It was just me chilling. I would just go on the internet, find some common interview questions. Like essentially this list of interview questions I sort of just found on the internet, and they weren't degree apprenticeship specific because there was no really content I could find on degree apprenticeships. But it was just general questions that they ask in interviews, and I've now refined this list to like what specifically they do ask in degree apprenticeship ones. But essentially, I just got these, planned them all out, and just practice them over and over again. So I'd just be sitting there and I do, what are your strengths? I just do it the answer until I was perfect at it. Simple. Maybe, again, like maybe like there's other factors involved, right? But it's like you're not going to regret doing that. It's the same with the presentation as well. Presentation. So some companies like Amazon, like JLR, like Rolls Royce, they want you to make a presentation beforehand, and you have to deliver a presentation. Some people like their presentation isn't polished. Like they'll get invited to an assessment center, and their presentation isn't 100% polished by the time they're there, and I'm like respectfully, like, are you dumb? Respectfully. Because how much notice did you have for this assessment center? 2 weeks, 1 week? So I'm just confused why you didn't go through your presentation 50 times before your assessment center. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just confused why you made your presentation once, you practiced it once, you went to the assessment center, you forgot what you were saying, you were super nervous and stumbled on all your words and this sort of thing. No, am I saying like it's not allowed to be nervous? Like, sure, like, do you know what I mean? But am I going crazy? Like, do you know what I mean? Am I going crazy? Like, if you have an assessment center for Amazon, you've got a presentation to do, you're practicing that presentation 50 times before your assessment center. Not even a joke. Not even, to me, this is not even a joke. You're literally doing it 50 times. Whenever I do presentations, even now, I literally have a session where I had this at university about like May or something last year. I sat in a room and I don't know how long the presentation was, 5 minutes, and it was just a 5 minute presentation. I did it 10 times in a row. The night before, I did it 5 times in a row. The morning of, I did it 3 times in a row. Did you think I got into my presentation, I forgot what I was saying, and I got a bit lost, and I got a bit nervous? No, because I'd done it dozens of times. I knew exactly what I was doing. I don't want to keep going around in circles, but maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, that's it. So, yeah, what was the point of this video? Oh man. Yeah, I think maybe this isn't news to people. Maybe this is news to some people, maybe it's not to some, but I think this should be a reminder for a lot of people. Like genuinely, if you have to just like uninstall Snapchat and Instagram for like 2 weeks to go and do this, like the thing is, anyone can do this 4 times a day. That's not even like me going crazy saying do this 4 times a day, because it's like I don't know how long this will specifically take, and you don't necessarily have to do the like full list or anything. Like I don't want to say things like that. I don't want to say you don't have to do the full list, because like some of you actually do need to do the. And okay, the problem is, right, and I'm guilty of this as well. Is if I say, like, I will say, so I'll need to do something. Okay, I'll need to do something, but then I'll just convince myself, oh no, you're right, you don't need that. So for example, right, I just get addicted to YouTube Shorts super easily, right? So I need to not even have YouTube on my phone, because I'll just start watching videos because I just get addicted to it, right? So I need to just get YouTube off my phone. But then I'll convince myself, no, no, it's okay. You're disciplined. You're actually good. No worries. And then I'll just, you'll be like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. I'll put YouTube on my phone, and then I'm just watching videos on it, right? And it's like, what? It's the same as this. You're almost going to convince yourself. It's like the like spiritual warfare, like talking to you, like, oh no, you're all good, man. You don't need to practice these questions. When it's like you probably do. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there, because I don't think there's anything more for me to say on this topic. But it's like, guys, that was my protocol. It helped me get 8-degree apprenticeship offers. So do with that information whatever you want to do with that information. I'd be going through this list every single day, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. If you're on a gap year, you've got even more time than everyone else, right? Let's say it takes 45 minutes each time, 45 minutes before school. I mean, that's pushing it, bro. Back in school days, I was going to bed at like 3 a.m. and waking up at 7 a.m. and just about like running to the bus, and then like sleeping on the bus the whole way. Yeah, maybe not before school, but like 4:45 minutes in the evening, 3:45 minutes in the evening. Is that the craziest thing in the world? I don't think so. Because if you have to do that for 1 month, like it's not crazy. I'm not even telling you to do anything for 5 years right now. It's like a lot of you might have an interview in 7 days. You might have it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's probably not 6 months. It's probably 2 months max until you're gonna have like your interview. So just do this. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. If anyone has any questions, leave it in the comments below. If anyone's seen this Longlegs film and you thought it was good, put it in the comments. If it was bad, put it in the comments. See you guys in a bit. Take care. Bye.